I'm Jay Moran.
I'm Bridget Valenza.
I'm Thomas O'Neill White.
I'm Angela Preston.
We need to get together and let our voices be heard.
This is What's Next, a dedicated hour to have important conversations about the issues facing the marginalized and underrepresented communities of Western New York and Southern Ontario.
We're going to have some real healing. We've got to have space to tell some uncomfortable truth.
What's Next continues our mission to discuss race,
Equity,
and the common concerns of Buffalo's East Side and beyond.
In the suburban area, everywhere, we must work and teach our children.
How are you?
Really good.
Cool.
Come on.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jay.
Hi, Jay. Very pleased to meet you.
Della.
Right?
Thanks for having
Patrick.
us.
Hi, Patrick.
So good to meet you.
This time I got the name.
For this episode of What's Next, we went to Olean to visit Della Moore, who runs the African American Center for Cultural Development. Since 2021, the center has been located in a large old home on North Berry Street, currently undergoing renovations. As we walk across the shining hardwood floors of the exhibition hall, Della shows off plates and magazines in a glass case and posters highlighting Black history icons.
This is where I got most of my stuff about Sarah Johnson, runaway slave who wound up in Olean and became an icon, a favorite icon. Yes. And she was deeded the architect. 50 and 1850 was when the fugitive slave law got teeth. Remember?
Right.
And so that says a lot about Olean. Olean, there was not one fugitive slave, runaway slave, was ever caught in Olean. Not at all. No. And
we make our way into a dining area she calls Café Afrique, and we sit down to learn more about Della's approach to history. That is, living history. Not just the stories of 19th century runaway slaves seeking refuge in Olean, but those of local artists, musicians, and community members who are the history of Olean and the Southern Tier.
Well, it's a beautiful day to be in Olean, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so there's so much to know about what is happening here. But here you are in your new location. You just moved into this location recently. Mm-hmm. How did that come about that you moved over here?
Well, this house was deeded to us. I mean, not deeded, it was given to us, by two lawyer friends of mine, Ed Wagner and John Hart. And they just gave it to us. So we worked on getting it ready, and it's almost to fruition to do the first floor. The first floor being the only part that's going to be open when we open soon. Yes, it's been a long haul, but I'm enjoying the journey. Yeah.
And you took us through a tour of what is here so far and what is going to be coming here. Mm-hmm. So let's maybe just mentally we'll go through some of the rooms. We walked right in. We have the gallery, right? Is what we step into first, right?
It's the exhibition hall.
Okay.
Yes, that's where most of the exhibitions will be.
Right.
On there, and then we come into the dining room, which is called the Café Afrique.
Where we're sitting right now.
Yes.
With a beautiful view here to the north. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have the Tuskegee Hall, which is our event room. That's where we have our presentations and events. And then we go to the theater room, which is Oscar Michaud's theater, which represented him, the African-American, who did it all.
Right.
Spike Lee and John Singleton are standing on his shoulders.
Yeah, from the early 20th century,
Yes. And then we have our commercial type kitchen, which is going to serve a lot of Philly cheesesteaks, et cetera, and some more stuff too. And then we have, let's see what else. Oh, eventually we are going to have, down in our basement, we're going to have our Underground Railroad exhibit, which is going to be interactive exhibits. So down there, and along with the Underground Railroad, with the Harriet Tubman and all that, we're going to have an overground, what I call, well, I'm not the only one that calls it that, but overground railroad is a little section depicting a little bit of the life for the Great Migration.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all right.
Just a little bit.
You know, every time when I ask you a question, you give me a couple of different things to talk about, so and you ask more questions about. So thank you for that. You're making my job easy.
Oh, wow.
But the first, you've told a lot of good stories to us so far. Let's start off with one of the really important stories, I think, for Olean, and that's Sarah Johnson.
Oh, yes.
Tell us the story of Sarah Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sarah Johnson was a runaway. She ran away from Maryland and wound up here, and right where the Bluebird Square is now, and in 1833. And she became a midwife after other jobs. She became a midwife, and she brought in a lot of the ancestors of the people who live here now. You know.
Oh,
and,
so other people followed her.
Oh, no, I mean ancestors. I mean, she helped
I'm
birth a
sorry.
lot of
Okay,
people.
okay, all
yeah,
right. Oh, I
she
gotcha.
birthed a lot of people
All right.
who are ancestors of the people who are living here now.
Right.
And this was a nice, safe place for slaves to come and pass through, or slaves to come and stay. And some of the people who live here now are descendants from the runaway slaves, running proudly. So the nice history, fantastic history. Yeah.
Yeah, a big part of that history, as you were telling us, is she was here in 1850 when the Fugitive Slave Act went into act, and of course that's where you know we'll call them slave hunters, whatever you want to call them, came looking to the north with all sorts of rights to take away other people's rights. What happened with Sarah Johnson in 1850?
Well, Sarah Johnson was the first African American who was woman who was deeded property here, which reminds me her house still stands, 607 Irving Street. And that during that time, 1850, that's when the fugitive slave laws, as you said, that had developed teeth. I mean, people were always running after the slaves and all that, and they would even grab people who were not slaves and send them down south. But during that time, it was really horrendous if you helped anybody that was running away or hid anybody. I'm talking about landowners and stuff. You can get in jail or fined or your property taken away big time, but people still helped.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
But
so
in
amazing
essence,
thing.
Olean protected Sarah Johnson.
Oh yeah. Oh, and everybody else that came by. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that say about this community looking back?
Baby, that's an awesome community.
Right.
Awesome. Yes, it is. The humans are humans, and it's such a welcoming community. I've always found it. I've been here for 50. Oh my gosh! whoa, 52 years.
Right.
Yeah, 72. Yeah, 52 years. Yes. Yeah.
Did you know any of that history when you came here?
No, I didn't. In fact, I have to confess, I didn't really. I wanted to come because of my kids. You know, after all, it's a nice place to raise children. My husband was born and raised here, so he knew how nice. And I spent my honeymoon here.
Is that right?
Yes, I did. I saw the Upside Down Hill. I saw the what is it called? Cloud 9 and all. Oh yes. So, but I was from the city, and I'd never been away from home, and I was afraid. You know, because after all, it's a small town, and this is in the 60s, and we heard all the stories, and the bus and all this. So I told my family, I said, no, I really don't want to go, but it's my family, and I have to go, and it's for the kids and everything. But I was afraid that I would not be able to come back because they'd kill me, because, as I said, it was the 60s, and, you know, all the stuff that was going on. You
lived at that fear in the 60s?
It was not. I was safe as long as I was in Philly,
right.
Safe and
of
all
course.
that. I mean, to travel.
But the perception was to go outside of the city.
Oh yes, that's when you see, because that's all you saw on television. Mostly, that's all you saw on television. Not all the time, but that's what you saw on television. Ironically, I was working at a Woolworths, thank you, while people down south was fighting to sit down and have a cup of coffee at that same chain.
Wow.
You know, yeah. But I'm here and I'm glad and I'm happy and I flourished and my kids flourished.
Really? Tell me about your kids. Tell me about your
they're
kids.
awesome. They're awesome. They're awesome kids. And I'm not just saying it because they're my kids.
Right.
But they're awesome.
Did they stay around Olean or did they move out?
No. I pushed them out. Because I didn't want them to know just one thing. One town, this beautiful town and everything. And I didn't want them to just know. And now they're, oh my gosh, they traveled and they're flourishing. One's in Arizona right now with 115 degrees temperature, and the other one has been in California, Reno, Georgia, Savannah, Charleston, and now she's in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah. Yes.
You have grandchildren?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How
yes,
many?
I do. I have two.
Two.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 great grand.
Oh, very good. Do they come to Olean to see you once in a while?
Once in a while. My
Yeah.
granddaughter and I are like, we are. She's in Ohio. Yeah.
So she likes to come see Grandma in Olean.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do they do? What do they think about it? So now they have a different perception then, right? Of Olean. They're like their parents. They weren't born here. They weren't raised here.
Yeah.
What do they
Well,
think?
they were raised here. They moved out when they were old.
Oh,
when they're older. Yeah,
okay.
when they're older. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they have fond memories of Olean.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And they know how to drive in the snow.
It's a great skill to have.
Amen. Especially in Iowa.
Yeah, right. What was Olean like in 1972 when you came here?
It was getting over Agnes, and so there was a lot of talk about that and everything. And I remember it was nice. It was so friendly, and I went to find a job, and I went to unemployment agency, what they call, I forget what they call it in Philly, but unemployment agency, and Mr. Johnson said, I have a job for you, right? And he sent me to Tops, and all right, and this is a good inkling of how wonderful this town is. So I got on the bus, 25 cents, and I drove, they rode down to Tops, and I was living down the street, Armory Place. It was Armory Place. And I went in dressed to the way you're supposed to dress, according to my era. You're supposed to dress up, and I even wore heels. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might have been the last person to wear heels to go to Tops.
I don't know, but I was dressed. I had a purse and everything out there. And Mr. Winnell hired me, and just on the spot, he read my resume and what have you, and then his office manager came. I was walking around, and his office manager came back and said, "Would Mr. Winnell would like to talk to you? Would you, just hang around a minute?" So I did and everything, and they hired me, and I started the next day, and but here's the thing. I only had that quarter to get there.
Oh.
So I'm walking all the way back
to
from 25th Street to Union Street. Well, that'd be First Street in heels.
Wow.
I'll never forget that. But it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
And they were smart enough to take you on at Tops.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
I just had a thought.
Okay.
I think they
Okay,
got
thank you.
themselves a good one, right?
We enjoyed it. I
Yeah?
enjoyed it.
What did you do at Tops?
From cashier all the way up to department head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did you stay?
32 years.
32?
Yes.
I was only able to make it 6 years at Tops.
Oh, really? You did Tops? Oh, look at that.
Sure.
Where did you go?
It's now closed. It was on Camp Road in Hamburg.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
the tiny little Tops.
Okay,
They
okay.
don't like those tiny ones anymore, right?
Yeah. Well, they have a tiny one in Ellicottville. I was surprised.
Oh,
I thought it
I
would
thought
be
it
bigger
would
than
count.
that.
It might as well be a Wilson Farms anyway. I shouldn't
These
specific.
are not my words.
I know. I apologize. We are.
Oh boy! But no, I loved it. I loved every second. As I said, I never worked a day in my life.
Wow.
I had a ball.
So you were meant for customer service.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like dealing with people,
Mm-hmm.
and people were always nice to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
They responded.
Oh,
Yeah.
we had a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew, oh, nice. I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Right.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. So, what about the African American Center for Cultural Development? What brought you to this endeavor?
Well, I've always been interested in Black history. When I was going to school, the only thing we really learned about Black history was slavery. Was slavery and all, and George Washington Carver, and so my aunts and my sisters and my mom, they were the ones who educated us on our history and all, and we felt that it should be more, all right. And then when I came here, I went to Alfred State had a satellite program school over at where the troopers are now, and I went there. We studied because they were doing Shakespeare, and I found that we could audit classes. So I went there for to audit a class on Shakespeare, and wound up and liked the program, and also the teachers. I think they were like. Everybody knew your name because it was such a small class size and score, and all. And I remember, and then I started spreading out and taking more classes, and then I finally took it for credit, and I think it was like $72 a course or something like that. It was ridiculously cheap, not ridiculously. Bonaventure's and JCC and everybody. No, I don't say ridiculous like that.
Right.
But it was very, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
It was old enough for me to afford.
Right.
So on my top salary.
I remember the top salaries.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, so by then I lived on 12th Street. 12th and West State Street. Okay, that's the main street there, and West and 12th, and Alfred. I keep saying JCC because JCC took it over. Alfred was over by Homer Street, which is just this side of the expressway. All right, and I remember having to walk. Talking about walking again. I remember late at night because it was my class was over at night because a morning at Tops and school, and so I remember coming back home late at night, and there were hardly any sidewalks, in those days, way back then, and I remember there on a corner. This is crazy, but there was a German Shepherd Saint Bernard that did not like me, and he would show this pleasure of my walking down his block. On many occasions, and you talk about frightened. That was spooky. That was spooky. But we made it. And then I developed some friendships, and then we got lifts, back and forth and everything. So, yeah, and one of them was with my English teacher, and that was Jean Waldock. And I remember in her class, where she taught English and English literature, and she was going to talk about several people like Faulkner and all of that. And I said, why don't you talk about the Harlem Renaissance and Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou? And she said, well, you seem to know more about it. Why don't you teach it? And that started it. And I never looked back. Yes, that started it.
That is a great story.
She was a great teacher. She was awesome. Yes.
We are here with Della Moore in Olean on What's Next. Della, Before moving forward then into the development of this center, I was curious about, you were talking about how I think your mother, maybe your grandmother, they taught you history. Did they tell you about your family history as well? Did you give us some background?
Yeah,
What can you tell me?
Yeah, but no, we only go back to grandmother, my grandmother.
Okay.
My mother's mother.
Right.
That's as far as we.
You didn't know more about your history than that?
No.
Okay.
No. My sister, the one that came out of Philadelphia to stay here, she's into genealogy and she's studying it. She's really trying to find out, where we come from, et cetera.
Right.
That. But my mom came from the South, the Show Me State, and my father came from Tuscaloosa, whatever.
Alabama?
So really, no, it's got it farther than that. Florida, Florida. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But it's got 3 syllables. Not
Pensacola.
No. It's a T and 3 syllables.
Oh, T and 3 syllables.
No, 4. A T and 4 syllables.
We're going to work on
I
that.
got to stand up there and do my thing.
So let's go back. So let's move back.
Uh-huh.
So your professor at Alfred encourages you now to teach.
Yes.
This history.
Yes.
Did you do it? Did you do it in class?
Yes, I did. I wrote I was going to teach on Maya Angelou, and I wrote her a letter and told her I was going to do this, and did she have any insights that she wants to impart to the students? And she happened to be out of town, but her secretary wrote me back. Yes.
Yeah.
There's one thing I do have, and that's boldness, because God said, walk boldly. Somewhere in the Bible, that is.
Well, you most certainly are doing it, aren't you?
I'm led by His Spirit, because I can't do it myself. I'm really shy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I'll let everybody know the moment I see that. So you've been. The center has been into different locations. So you've been moving around Olean.
Yes.
So and as you've moved along, you've been picking up artifacts and things along those lines, collecting new items. Tell me about that.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I have been collecting all my life.
Oh, is that right?
And most of the things that you see here is from my collection.
Right.
And eventually, the center is going to be able to afford to buy their own, but until then I would gladly lend it, because that belongs to my family. My kids, that's their heritage, their heirlooms and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, some of those posters are older than him.
You're pointing at Patrick, our producer, who is half of my age and maybe a little more.
That's only because one of them is older than you.
Yeah.
I mean, all the rest of them except one is older, but so I can't lump it in.
What about the history of Olean in the Underground Railroad? I mean, like you said, sand pumpings, there's stories about it, and I'm sure I got a feeling you know those stories pretty well. What can you tell me?
Well, I'm still learning. Yeah, I'm still learning.
You seem like a lifelong learner. Yeah. But what can you tell me about that?
Uh-huh.
About the Underground Railroad as it pertains to this area?
The Underground Railroad. Olean was an ideal, as well as other parts of Cattaraugus County and Potter County and Chautauqua County and Erie County and Allegheny County. It was a beautiful place. I mean, not beautiful place, but I mean, a great place for the tracks to take people, on the Underground Railroad. Mm-hmm. A good book to read is And Why Not Any Man, Every Man, Why Not Every Man by Helene Fairbairn. She lived in Almond, New York. Yeah.
Over in Allegheny County.
Yes.
Okay.
She got good. And so she even drew the tracks that the people would use to come through here. Mm-hmm. But Olean, aside from Sarah Johnson coming here and landing here and becoming an icon, I mean, with her midwifery skills, and in fact, personality. I'm assuming that's right. I would give a lot to. Now, I don't want to go Twilight Zone on anybody, but I would give a lot to hear how she sounded. You know, because I'm her avatar. I've been blessed to be her avatar.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I dress like her and everything.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we go around and do speeches and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, I'd like to see that.
It's a way to get out of my shyness. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
But
I'm just kidding.
I think, but you also you offer tours of some of the sites here.
Oh yes,
in
oh
Olean.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, tell me about some of the sites.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to go on a tour sometime myself, but let's talk about.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
Both of you. I mean, I'm gonna hold you to that.
I saw that look.
Well, there's two things. Well, God has blessed me to ask me to, to do a tour of the Underground Railroad, and a mixture with it's not a complete tour. It's just showing a couple of sites, and a little bit about the Black history in the area. And I'll have you, and I'll give you a copy. And that also, and it's a 2-hour tour. And we break in the middle, and so that I don't run you down. And it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun.
Right.
And I'm in my 6th printing of 500, and we just started, I think, 2015.
Okay.
And I have only been leading. I have led maybe 6 tours. It's a self-guided tour. And I keep it, I stock them up at Tops, and they go off the shelves.
Yeah.
Even during COVID, they were going, I mean, just people were taking them and using them and walking and enjoying the history. Yeah. And Mimi over at the Chamber of Commerce asked me one day when we were doing our strolling in, why don't you do a tour downtown?
Yeah. And
so that's what I did. And I did that, I think, maybe 3 times, twice or 3 times. And that is just just going downtown, walking downtown during strolling in. Strolling in is where they have, it's sort of like a farmer's market, and everybody's outside and all that. It's wonderful things downtown. It's just, it's beautiful. I mean, you can't even move, and that's the kind of thing I like.
Right.
So anyway, and that's what I did. And that was supposed to be an hour tour. That turned out to be a 2-hour tour because it was interactive. When people passed a building, and I tell them that now this building, like, let's see, who can I ask? Rite Aid. Let's say Rite Aid used to be the county building.
Okay.
Let's say that.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I remember that, and I remember da, and I remember when Kresge's was so, and all. So it wound up to be a 2-hour tour.
Right.
But that's when. And then when you, as I said before, when you see something in its present state, and you know the history of it before and how it got there, you have a different respect, and you just don't see it the same way. You don't see it the same way. You see, like when we moved from place to place to place to place, we grew each time we moved. We grew, yes. In 72, I couldn't sit here and talk to you like that. No, I'd be too shy.
You're shy in 72.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I'm serious because I wouldn't know that much. You
Sure.
know what? And I'm certainly learning a lot.
How did you learn so much about what's around here? How did you learn all of this?
Just by asking questions.
Yeah, but did you have elders that you talked to, people that were here before you, and they gave you information?
I know, yeah.
Yeah?
You sit with the old folks, boy.
Yeah?
That's where it's at.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. And then a little bit of books like Helen Fallon's books. And I spoke to her one time. I wrote to her, too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but she did. She wrote back to me, and she said that she said that this is part of it. And she said, in essence, why don't you write the next part? And that blew me away. That was paraphrased, but that blew me away. And so I didn't write the next part, but I just started talking about it. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it important to tell that story?
Oh gosh, that I didn't know I was going to tell that story. I really didn't.
Yeah.
It was just it came to me.
But you
she
know
was
it's important.
kind
It is
enough-
important, though. You know
she
it.
was kind enough to, you know, to just like passing the banner, and that's kind of heavy.
Does it feel? You don't
It's
seem to
kinda
make it.
heavy.
It doesn't seem heavy for you.
No.
Yeah. Right. Right.
No, but I haven't written. I mean, I'll just talk it, but I'm not going. I don't think I have the talent, the skill to write like that.
Right.
So,
But at the same time, I think one of the future endeavors that you're going to have here at the center, you're going to do history podcasts.
oh yes, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So it's like writing. It's going to be recording things for posterity.
Yeah,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
The passing the stories on, you know. You know about cowboy poetry?
Cowboy poetry?
Yes,
I do not
I know this is so off the wall. I'm
Please.
sorry. Just
You've got me. You know you have me eating on your hand, right? You do understand that, right?
no, I read this. I listened to this cowboy talking about his grandmom's trunk that he found when grandma died, and all the memories she had in it, and all of that, you know. And so this is what I went with the podcast, and what I do when I talk to students and what have you like that. Talk to your elders. Talk to your mom. I mean, talk to her. I don't mean talk to her like this with your phone in your hand and yeah, mom, no problem. Yeah, mom. I'm talking about look at like you and I are
Right.
doing that. Talk to them. Listen to them. They have stories to tell. They have wise things to offer you, you know. So talk to them, and I want people to do that because we are all history, walking history. We are, you
Right.
know. And just because, as I said, just because somebody you're walking down the street and somebody you say hi to somebody and they go out of your periphery of your vision, they don't disappear. It's not like a movie. They don't disappear. They're real, very real. You know, the man on the corner that's, you know, smoking like crazy and drinking his cup of coffee and enjoying his day. You know, he's got stories to tell.
Stay with us. There's more to come. This is What's Next on WBFO.
You're listening to What's Next, our place to discuss the important issues of our communities of Western New York and Southern Ontario. We want to hear from you. Click on the Talk to Us option in the WBFO app, and we will work to get your questions or comments on the air. Do you have a story or concern that we should be addressing? Email us using whatsnext@wbfo.org. Together we'll have the conversations that are needed. This is WBFO, your NPR station.
This is What's Next on WBFO. We're in Olean with Della Moore, founder of the African American Center for Cultural Development. Della takes pride in showing us the transformation of the house and how banisters and light fixtures become living reminders of the past. She shows us a hidden compartment discovered when a wall came down near a back bathroom. Excitement colors her voice as she tells us that no one knows its origin, but she's convinced she found it for a reason.
Oh, you guys gonna walk away shaking your heads. I know
No. That's what we came to do.
Yeah. So, but one time, but look inside. If the decoration, the wallpaper, it's like children's wallpaper. And I have no idea. No one knows that I've asked. Nobody I asked knows. Even the people who used to come to the doctor's office, they didn't know it was here. You know?
Then they covered it up, huh?
Yeah, yes, it covered it up with the wall.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, in the time that we've spent together, and you may or may not want to talk about this, but I'm going to ask anyway, you seem like a very spiritual person?
Oh, I couldn't do anything without my God.
Yeah?
This one's lead me. He leads me. I mean, when I'm here, sometimes I don't have the volunteers I need, but there are 5 of us here. And I often say this: there's God, there's Jesus, there's the angels, there's the Holy Spirit, and I bring up the rear.
Hmm.
That's it. So we 5 of us. Yes, yeah. I couldn't do anything without him.
Where does that come from?
My family. My mom, yeah, and my church.
Yeah?
Yeah, in Philly. New Bethany Baptist Church.
In Philadelphia?
Yes.
Still there?
Yes, it is. On Dickinson Street, 22nd and Dickinson. 23rd and Dickinson, yeah.
What about around here for church for you here?
Trinity, United Methodist
Always?
Church.
Always been?
Oh, no. Bethel A&E was the first one I had.
Okay.
Bethel A&E, Bethel was African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Is it still here?
No, they closed. Yeah.
They closed?
Yeah, they closed when I was in Philadelphia at Temple.
Oh, okay.
They closed, yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It seems like you're really, like, the approach, and maybe some advice that you would give is just kind of what you said before, just ask questions. Ask people what their stories are. I mean, that seems to be what you have done, and it seems to have worked out great. It's the listening part is that gets you, the listening part. It's listening, yeah.
So it's ask the question, but also make sure you're receptive to what you're actually being told.
Yeah. That's it.
And do you think, what was it that Maya Angelou's secretary ended up writing you?
Oh, she apologized for her being out of town, but she sent a picture to Jeannie Warlock, yes, and all. And but Maya Angelou never did. Just tell them to do the best they can, be the best they can. It was very nice. It was very, I asked her about a particular movie that I was really in love with, Georgia, but she referred that to Maya Angelou, and that never got back to me. The Georgia movie. I would love to hear her insight on that movie. It was awesome. It was Diana Sands was in it. Yeah. She was good. She was the Cicely Tyson of her day.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh
okay.
Yeah. Very, very good person. Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just I know you have it in Buffalo, and I know you had it in Bradford too. Yes, you did. Mm-hmm. There's certain areas, certain cafes. There's like McDonald's. Or Burger King. Well, I'll take McDonald's for sure because that's the one I know most. And where the old folks hang out. Rich source of information, rich source of history. So one time we had a bunch of old guys. I'd worked with them on different clubs, different boards and stuff. And I just one day sat in. And oh my gosh, they knew about where everything was. They knew about the trolleys and when they were here and what streets they went up and stuff like that. And when they would break up, that was awesome information. I just sat there and sopped it all up. I feel terrible. I said, see why somebody said, my gosh, Della, when I talk to you, I get tired. I say, yeah, because I'm sopping up your energy. It's true. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's just listen, Put your 2 cents in, because after all, you got to keep it going. But listen, that's it. Yeah.
And then when you go to Tops on Fridays during February, that's really an opportunity for you to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And have those conversations.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. Well, what I like, that's me. What I like to happen, people do come and talk to me all the time, and I'm grateful for that. I really am. I thank God for that so much. Because honestly, I used to be shy. And it's all, no. I used to be very, very shy, and he's brought me this so far that I'm so grateful. But yeah, and I sit down and I stand and I talk to people, and a lot of it is about what I'm presenting, but a lot of it is about what they feel, I listen to what they have to say and all, but the history gets in there somewhere. But I have a ball. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to ask about those interactions at Tops.
Mm-hmm.
What do people say? Right? You say you allow them that space to say, and they're making comments about what you're doing. Or what do they say?
Yeah.
Do they express surprise about you being there? What do they say?
My sister was here. She would say, "No, I don't think anybody's surprised with anything you do, though." But anyway, I hope that didn't come across. But anyway, no, not surprised. Except that if they haven't seen me in a while.
Okay.
Then I haven't seen you in a long time and stuff, but they express support for this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful because it didn't have to be that way. I'm so grateful for the support, that everybody's shown. Yeah. And they say some nice things, and then we talk about the people on the posters and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you have on your posters this year?
I have Mary McLeod Bethune. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I have Dorothy Height. And I have Madam C.J. Walker. And I have Mary Church Terrell. And I have, let me see this, Josephine Baker. Hmm. I think that's it. Yeah. That's right. That's it.
I can't say I'm familiar with Miss Height. Is that the name?
She was. She was a civil rights activist and in politics, and she just passed. I think she just passed recently. I think she's in the 20s. I think she passed. Yeah, and a great advocate of equal opportunities and stuff. She was awesome, good speaker, too. Wonderful speaker. Yeah. And I've got 7 more in the theater room to go up next time. Yes.
You wanted to be a spoiler and tell us what those are, or you want to hold the secret?
No. One of them is Barbara Jordan, whom I really am so when she was with them. She spoke at the Democratic Party, and her voice is so. She was a lawyer, and she's oh my gosh, it was awesome. Yeah, I really like her. And see who else do I have on there? Darn. Am I allowed to say that? I'm sorry.
Darn's okay.
Yeah. There's a couple, but we sometimes have singers like Nancy Wilson and all the modern day singers and stuff, and Tina Turner and Aretha Franklin and stuff. I got big old posters. Yeah. So as I said, I've been collecting posters and stuff for such a long time. Yeah.
And one of the posters you showed Jane and I before this was of your friend Fontilla, right?
Oh yes, Fontilla. Oh yes, she was another icon in the area. I remember when she passed away, when the funeral was going down. No, when we were driving down the street, and the bars, one particular bar called of course, Dellamore, on West State Street. She always would say, "Love you, baby," and he had that on there, on a sign hanging out of his bar, "Love you, baby," and all the way down the road is just people expressing sadness in her passing, and she was a fantastic singer, YouTuber. You'll hear her voice, awesome, and you won't forget her voice. And she was also a humanitarian. She worked for Social Security. She also did EMT. Am I saying it right? The people who resuscitate you and you. Okay, I'll help you out. And she was an umpire Oh my gosh! You gotta come back because I got a picture of her umpiring and she's jumping spread eagle like that, jumping over the guy. He was safe anyway, like that. Is awesome. And she was in her 50s. Oh my God, 50s. Yeah, She's awesome. She was awesome. She came here during the coffee house circuit, and she felt she's. Stopped at Bonaventure's and she liked what she saw and she stayed. She's from the Bronx, Brooklyn. I think she's Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Yeah.
So another big city girl who came to Olean and stayed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. I hadn't thought of it. Yes.
Oh, I've taught you one thing in our time together. I got that. Almost, you've taught me many more things than that.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It's awesome.
Della Moore, you've been you have such this infectious optimism about you, and I appreciate it. And if you don't want to talk about this kind of thing that I'm going to bring up here, you're welcome to move on from it. But at the same time, I know. See, just like you got me ready to go into that room over there for the theater. I can be ready for this question. But the question is about race relations in the United States. How do you look at it right now? What do you have? You seem so vibrant and upbeat, but at the same time, a lot of the stories that we hear from across the country aren't necessarily all that upbeat.
No,
how do you look at things?
I know. I was talking to my sister about sort of what you were talking about, what you asked me about, but I would say it this way, and I said it to her. I said, I remember, again, it is the, if you know something from before, you respect more what you see now, okay? I remember when there was a time when I did not see anybody that looked like me on television. And now look at you, we're winning awards, we have our own shows, we have, all that, and you see we're everywhere. And we should be because, after all, that's American history, right? And we're good. We are darn good. Am I all right to say darn?
You can say darn as much as you want.
We're really, truly good, all right? And enough to win those awards and beyond. This is Cicely Tyson and all of those things I mentioned before. I know where we came from. I know what it took to get here, from my own experience and from the experience of the different people that you research and stuff like that. We still have a way to go. Because I know about the hate. Of course, like you, I read about the hate crimes and stuff, or look at Buffalo, the tops of Buffalo. It's just, it saddens me. I'm sick. But I still have hope that it has been better. It's getting better. I do. People have to see that you're human, I'm human. You have beautiful blue eyes, and I have hazel eyes.
Yes, just like mine.
We're still good.
Yeah.
And we can see that good in each other. And that's all, we have to do that. We have to see the human thing. I don't know if I've answered your question. Yes, I'm sad about when someone hate gets so bad that you got to go get a gun and boom, or hate gets so bad that you even have to say something. But my advice to that is that if you see something, hear something in your break room, what have you, speak up. Don't let it drop. Because if you don't, then you're part of the problem. That's my thing. Did I answer your question? I don't know if I did or not. It's just it's so dear to my heart that, it's sad. But then you got to see, you got to make it better for the kids coming up. That's, one time I heard it. We people, historians, older people, caring people, set the table that the children that's coming behind us must sit at.
To serve that mission, Della brings her Black History exhibits to the community. Every Friday in February, she sets up at the Olean Tops in front of big displays of soda cans with posters of Black women like Sarah Johnson and Mary McLeod Bethune. Della helps spread their stories with folks as they push shopping carts and stop to talk with her.
Yeah, awesome. No, but I will give you my card, and you can give me a call, and I can make appointments.
Right. My granddaughter's really interested in Black history.
Okay. Eventually, we will have
regular hours. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. It's good to see you. Thank you very, very much. The highlight to it, this is Black Women in History, right? And this is our exhibit. I have a similar exhibit at the center. This and what I wanted to do ever since I've been interested in museums and cultural centers is to make a code like this and have people have the exhibit speak for it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I wanted this to be able to talk, say in their words what they're about. Ever since I've been interested, I wanted to do that. Just to have somebody go along and they point the phone now and to the QR, and then hear the story. That's awesome in their word.
What about what's happened here in Olean in the last few years? It's changed. You got the roundabouts.
Oh, yes.
North Union Street has changed considerably. You like it?
I love it. Yeah. I do love it. I do love it. I'm so excited about this because I'm from Philadelphia, right? And I'm used to the Schuylkill Expressway, which is the longest moving parking lot in the world.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
It's just things crazy. Cars lined up and everything. We can go that way from Walmart's past Tops, all the way down to the Four Corners. Not one person beat their home. But the traffic is the traffic, No, but I love it. I love the roundabouts. It's just so smooth that the traffic just goes.
What do you want to tell our listening audience about Olean? As much as Olean is part of Western New York, a lot of people don't get to Olean.
Oh, no, come on. Olean is the New York City of Cattaraugus County, y'all. You gotta think about it. Sure. We got everything here. My gosh, we got theaters, we got the AMC, we got Tops, and
St. Bonaventure.
And Bonaventures, JCC, roundabouts downtown. We got African American History. We got African American Center for Cultural Development. We got great people.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will walk when you go downtown, or you even going down the street, they'll hi you right back, and that's the truth. We got people who are not in a rush, even though they have to go get somewhere real fast too, just like you do.
Right.
And you're not going to beat your horn, et cetera, like that. Yeah.
And I got a feeling when people come to the African American Center for Cultural Development, there's going to be some nice people here waiting to talk to them as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yes.
Now you're still setting things up here.
Yes.
And I know you're probably not totally sure when everything's going to be up and running.
Yes. Well,
but this is a beautiful building.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh, we are so blessed.
Right.
We are blessed beyond.
And we have signs right on Union Street to tell us to come down here.
Yes.
Okay.
That's another part of the tourists. It's great. And right next to JCC, and JCC is fantastic sport. And they got the mural.
I see the beautiful mural there.
Yeah. That's good. The lady who did it is from Philadelphia too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so, by summertime, or is this all going to be up and running?
Oh, well, we're going to be by March.
By March,
we're going to have we're open now for exhibits, but by appointment, or if you see the orange car out there, you come in, right?
Right.
But by March, we'll have regular hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then finally, when you do have your hours all set up here, what do you want people to know about this center? And I'm giving you a chance to make your pitch to our audience. What do you want them to know about the center? Why should they come visit?
Oh, because of history. You'll learn a history definitely without being not preaching to you. You'll learn it by interacting. You'll learn it by seeing, by experiencing. We'll have some films and stuff also, but and a good feeling. And let's see what else we got. And Philly cheesesteaks. You know, it's you idiot. Yes, Philly cheesesteaks.
Della Moran.
Oh God, it's
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. No, God bless you. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is awesome. This is so awesome. It's awesome.
All right, you promise to stay in touch then?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes. All right. Thank you, Pete.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
I can see that look in your eye.
It's just that I'm so amazed at that question. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Honor was ours. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This has been What's Next on WBFO and WBFO HD1 Buffalo, WOLN Olean, and WUBJ Jamestown, your NPR station.